Hey, listen, I just want to call out one person.
And I hate myself a lot.
But stuff. You're getting punched in the dick.
There needs to be more Street Shark references.
I say who?
That's funny as hell.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Underqualified and Overcompensated podcast. I'm your host, with least most, all by myself because everyone else is either asleep or overseas or touching themselves in their closets. I don't know what people do on their alone time. Honestly, I have kids. I don't have alone time anymore. But I'm here all by myself. Hopefully some people jump on. We will see. If you are watching and you are interested and you want to be a part of the conversation, I'm about to post the link in the comments below. Click on it. Join on in. Fantastic. We can talk about this. We are here to talk about the 2020 presidential election that is still going on currently. Most of the polls are closed right now. They just closed. A few of them are getting ready to close up. So we'll go from there. I have a speck on my left cheek. That is a mole, my friend. I wish it was just a speck. Sadly, it's not. But good looking up, Carl. Good looking out. So most of the polls are closing right now. Right now, it's close, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting close. There is a lot going on, and there's a lot of people assuming, which ways things are going to go, which are the next, one way or the other. And it's kind of a toss-up. Carl, no worries. I appreciate you looking out, buddy. My face is all big on the screen. I don't like how focused my face is right now. I really kind of wish I had like a border, but technical difficulties. Technology's fun. We're drinking and we're looking at presidential elections, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, they've called some of the states because a majority of them have come out, or we already know that they're going to go one way, right? Which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think that we should just go with that and, be like, oh, New York, right? New York, only 39% of the votes are in. And they've already called it 64 to 34%. Like, obviously, we all know that New York's going to go blue. It's going to happen. If it flipped to red, I'm pretty sure the world would then just simultaneously light on fire. It is 2020, so you don't know. But I feel like you shouldn't call it so early. You should wait. Like, that is the point of the voting, and they're calling it early. Of course, this is Fox News's poller right here. This is according to the Associated Press, and then I have the New York Times up here as well. New York Times and the Associated Press both have it 131, and a little different here, actually. I think they might have one more state. Oh, there we go, 131 and 108. And then Fox News has it running 129 to 109. There's some swing states going on. Nebraska is a little tight. North Carolina also super tight. That's the one that they're waiting on right now because that's 49 to 49. They're at 91% of the reporting votes in, which means that if North Carolina swings blue and breaks this red wall that they're saying all right here, if North Carolina breaks through and gives that 15 electoral votes to Vice President Biden, it's going to throw up a lot. I think from the projections on where these states probably would go, they didn't include Texas into that because also Texas is kind of in there as well, 71%, 51, and 47. That's a close tie. But it's looking like it's going to come down to Pennsylvania. 35% of the votes are in. It's 44% to 52. The polls are closed. They're currently tying in. And also, Pennsylvania is one of those states where it will take like up to about a week to fully get all of the votes in due to how they currently voted in their Supreme Court with late voting and mail-in votes. So it may take a while for Pennsylvania to close. And if it's waiting on Pennsylvania to be that tiebreaker there for the majority and give one or the other that upper hand, it's going to be a tight for the next couple days. But right now, I think that North Carolina is the one to watch. Obviously, 49 to 49.8. That is, and 91%. And like they are so close. It could really just swing one way or the other. This is kind of one of those races where absentee voting and mail-in votes could be what pulls it in, right? Absentee voting could actually win someone the election, with North Carolina being so in the middle right there. I think it'll definitely be interesting to see the way North Carolina swings with other parts of the states as well. It's kind of a toss-up. It's a few of the races are going to be very interesting to watch, and we will see how it goes. But yeah, that's what we have so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a few people in watching us. Fantastic. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to be part of the conversation, please click the link in the comments above. Go into the StreamYard. I'll add you in. We can have this conversation. I want to see what you guys feel. What are you guys feeling about the race right now? It can be a 5-minute conversation. You can be on for the next hour. I don't care, right? I want to know who you voted for, why you voted for them, and who you're leaning towards, and what you think the outcome is going to be. Because right now, obviously, due to a lot of the reporting press, it is looking to be Joe Biden with a massive lead over Donald Trump. And I am interested to see where it's going to go. And so we will go from there. I think, you know what? I don't know what to think. I honestly don't. I don't know where it's going to go from here. There's a lot of things that can kind of give and take. There's a lot of states that can swing one way or the other. I personally, for myself, don't really like either one of the candidates, so I don't really have any foothold on either one of the winning. So I'm purely looking on as a spectator. I have my opinions of if either one of them win, of course, but I'm more interested just to see how the electorate is going to vote. I think it's going to be very interesting. This is a very interesting presidential election right now, and I think it's going to say a lot about what a majority felt about the last 4 years, about the last 8 months, right? I think if a lot of the stuff that in 2020, if it would have gone as smoothly as a normal year, I think it would have changed a lot of how this election is running. Without the pandemic, without the George Floyd and the BLM marches, and all of the police shootings, without all of those, I feel like it would have been a much different turnout for voting. 100%. I don't think anyone would ever refute that. They've been talking about it all over the news all day. Oddly enough, all that's been playing inside my house has been the news. We've just been watching CNN and CBS News and Fox News and all of it, switching back and forth, watching the different polls, watching the different reporters talk and report on what's going on and what they think is going to happen. And like I said, it's a big flip. It's a big switch. And honestly, we'll just kind of see. We're just going to kind of keep going here. See if Fox has got anything. Nope, they're on commercials, so nothing new there. Here we have, so it's still 131 to 108. The next polls close here in the next 20 minutes or so. So that is how a lot of it's going to change. Here in the next 20 minutes is going to be a lot different. Carl, have I considered the theory that Biden was intentionally pushed as a controlled opposition strategy to prevent progressive change platforms from gaining momentum? Do you mean as in what as the progressive change platforms? Do you mean within the Democratic Party, like Bernie Sanders or any of the other Democratic candidates, or do you mean third-party candidates, as in Joe Jorgensen's or Hawkins, or any of the other third parties? What do you necessarily mean? What's your pinpoint question there? If Biden was kind of a scapegoat to quell other strategies, I think. Give you time to type. Let's see here. North Carolina at 92, 49.9, 48.9. Okay, well, right there you can see that Joe Biden gained 0.9% of the vote there. As in either Warren or Sanders would have pushed a larger base than Biden, but divided the progressive post together. So you think that it was like a group opposition between... Sorry, I'm asking you a lot of return questions. So you think it's from the other side? So like the conservatives or the higher powers to be still wanted Trump to be president, and so they pushed Biden to be the Democratic Party leader to then just easily be swept that way to kind of quell that? Or you think they still want Biden to be elected, but quell those progressive change platforms as well? Because I believe that either way, whether it's Trump or Biden, they're both kind of not really in that progressive change area. Biden's kind of wishy-washy with a lot of his progressive stances. When it comes to fracking, you don't know if he's against fracking or with fracking. That's a real big contention right now, especially in the state of Pennsylvania. There is a lot of conversation going on there about that. And then also with police reform and oil and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that he has kind of been left and right about, and you're kind of unclear about where he stands. Trump, they're very clear with how he stands. So, of course, he's against the opposition of the higher change, progressive change platforms. Seems more like loss mitigation to me, either with Trump or Biden. Nobody really moves the status quo, i.e. the money. Yes, when it comes to the money and the status quo, things are going to stay the same with either candidate, I believe. Nothing really is going to change. With Trump, obviously, we have the last 4 years to look over. Not too much change. There have been some things that have changed, of course, but he hasn't been able to do a lot of what he's tried to do because of the democratically ran Senate, I believe. And so with that, a lot of things kind of stopped there. And that's also another thing that is potentially changing as well, right? As we look here, the Senate, that balance of power, they're currently vying for the Senate and the House seats as well. House seats are up. All of the House seats are up, so they're up for re-election. All of that could change. And then here at the Senate, they have a different rotation there. So there's a few seats that are up, and they're hoping, the Democrats, of course, are hoping to switch both of them and flip them into their power. Even if Trump does take over, or not take over, if he does get reelected into the next 4 years, then they at least have a stronghold in DC to where they can kind of quell anything that he's trying to push forward and kind of still push their agenda there. We'll kind of see on that one. That's also an interesting part of the race to see how these are going to move forward. So it's not only the presidential race that people need to be looking at, it's also the Senate and the House races as well, because I've always believed that if you want to really create change in your environment, in your area, you really need to start voting for your representatives within your own state. Voting for just the president, it's going to create larger change, but not really change that you're going to see impacted you directly on an every day-to-day basis, unless it's something very large, like back in 2012 with gay marriage rights. That was obviously a big change, but a lot of it you didn't really see on an every day-to-day level, and that's a lot to do within the state. Colorado legalizing weed, that was another one of those things, and that wouldn't have been able to be done if there was another representative in the House, or another governor and within their legislation there. So of course, local legislation is very important to vote for as well. I'm currently having one of those moments where like your headphones are hurting your ears, and I have very large ears, as you can see. So I'm like fighting my ear pain and keeping my headphones on at the same time. But that's what beer's for, apparently. Oh. So I got Carl watching. I got 3 or 4 more people watching as well. Say hi in the comments. Let me know what's going on, what you guys are doing, what you're thinking. Show me some love. Show me some words. Do a little typey type. Let's see what's going on, guys. Oh, it's weird when I do this picture-in-picture thing. I apologize. I keep doing that. So CNN here showing 37% of the elected vote in there. They have it 98 to 95 right now on their electoral map across the country. Here on 27 to win, they have it set Biden with 51% of the votes here. It's not bad. Nah, Carl, you're doing great. Invite your friends. That's how you multiply the numbers there, my friend. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that share button. Let people know that we are awake at 9:45 at night. Trying to create some solid entertainment and information for the populace. That's how you let people know. That's how you get more friends, Carl. That's how I get more friends. I get all 4 of you to talk to. Here on Fox News, so over there they had it 98 to 95 on CNN. Fox News has it 133 to 115. I think Fox has declared more solidly before they're even done, right? Utah, they only have 64%, and they called it for Trump. 24% in Wyoming, and they called it for Trump. Of course, it's only 3 votes there. But these are cumulative right here. These could add up to, a decent head start. But with 66% over, 63%, right? Nebraska is one of those where they have undeclared it, right? They only have 40% of the votes in. It's 45-52 to Trump. So they're calling it towards Trump, but it still could flip, right? Could flip with the remaining 60% of the vote there. And we still have this entire blue wall, as they say, all the way across here. Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, Iowa, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Ohio obviously is looked at to go more towards President Trump due to the past records. And then Pennsylvania still up there, 40% in, 54 to 42. So it's looking more like Pennsylvania there. That's slowly ticking up there. Let's check back on North Carolina, 93% of the vote in, 50% and 48.8. So Trump is taking a slow but steady lead in the counting there. And it's going to go. I feel like I'm watching like the 4th quarter of a football game right now. You're just watching them like get a yard, and then they get knocked back, and then they get a yard, and then they get a yard, and then they knock back, and they're just handing it off to the running back, and they're getting closer and closer. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that sack to come out of nowhere. I'm waiting for that all-out blitz to come in from the defense and knock them back another 15, 20 yards, maybe even recover and run all the way in. Like I'm waiting for it. 91% of the votes in Florida, 47 to 51%. That's a close one. That's not quite as close as North Carolina, but Florida, I feel like it's going to be a close call when it comes in. And then Texas, of course, as we said earlier, another one to watch closely with 73% of the votes in, 47 to 51. That could be another one that kind of sneaks up on there. Based on the right-wing narrative pushing against mail-in voting and the left-wing narrative supporting it, wouldn't it be reasonable to assume the mail-in ballots would mostly support Biden? Yeah, and I think they are also they're banking on that. For most of the news that I've watched today, they are banking on mail-in voting mostly coming in support of Biden, because a lot of Republicans and independents who were more right-leaning didn't want to vote by mail-in ballot because of that rhetoric that was pressed by mainstream media. And so a lot of it is more liberal-leaning voters wanting or being willing to do mail-in ballots. So we will see from that and see how that goes. I mailed mine in personally because I'm in the Army. I live in another state. It's a whole lot easier that way, and I don't want to register in Texas. I like being registered in Idaho, and so I like voting for local Idaho legislation, even though I don't live there. So I like to kind of keep it that way. But I do feel like that rhetoric does affect, and I feel like that was their point. I feel that, and it was highly conservative rhetoric pressing against mail-in voting, right? That it was going to increase voter fraud and it was basically going to make Donald Trump lose due to mail-in voting. And honestly, that's most of the time, that's a lot of people vote mail-in. This year, of course, a majority of people mailed in, right? I think over, 90 million people, 80 million, 90 million people. So almost 60% of the amount of people that voted last election in 2016 voted in mail-in voting and early voting this year. And that it tears records away, right? And so by that, so far it's showing that we will probably have a little bit of a higher voter turnout, which is awesome, which is amazing. More people should vote. We have 328 million people in this country. And in 2016, only 150 million people voted. That is less than half of the overall population of this country. We have one of the lowest voter turnouts in the world, and that is ridiculous. We're supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we're supposed to have all these rights, but no one wants to fucking vote for it. So I hope, if you're watching, I hope you went out and vote, because it's important. I don't have to fucking beat your head in about that. You know it's important. I know it's important. Your dog sitting on the floor right next to you, he knows it's important. Everyone does. This isn't new information. Everyone knows voting important. I'm counting children? Why am I counting children? Ramball, click the link and get over here. What the hell are you talking about? Yet again, Ramball has confused me. I don't know what's going on. Come here, Ramball. Say that to my face. You beautiful man, you. So let's see if the numbers have changed in the last 5 seconds. A lot of underage people in those numbers. Do you mean underage people in the numbers of the mail-in votes that are voting? I believe a lot of countries actually have compulsory voting. Saw an article about Australia fining citizens $50 if they don't vote. That's actually kind of cool. I'm actually not against that. People should vote. It would at least, I apologize for my coughing. It would at least make people either A, they would just vote because they don't want to get the fine, and they would just vote, right? Uneducated, which I don't want. What it would hopefully push is that people would then get involved in it because they're like, well, if I'm going to vote, I might as well fucking look into it, right? Well, yeah, population numbers too. But if you compared it like per capita, we still have the lowest turnout for voting. You can always change things to ratios and percentages, right? And let me see here. Let me do some typing while you do some typing. And let me see. Here we go. I'm doing some science. Don't worry about it. Okay. Here you go. Ramball, here's your science, okay? So, Belgium, right? The share of voting age population that voted in the most recent national election. So, this is all the voting age, right? For each individual country in their most recent national election. So, Belgium in 2014, 87% of their population voted, right? That's per ratio. We're not talking about, 18 million versus 100 million. It's just percentages. Okay, Sweden was 82%. 55% of us voted in 2016. 55%. Spain, the UK is at 63%. We can't let fucking UK beat us. Also, South Korea in 2017 at 77.9%. They've only been voting for the past, 50 years? And they still have a higher turnout than we do? Like that's ridiculous. Israel has 76%, New Zealand 75%, right? Fucking Canada 62%. It's only 7 more than us, but still. Certain countries don't like to lose food, right? France, that should piss you off. 2017, France had 67.9% of their population that voted. We should definitely be way up above Belgium in our voting percentages. There's no excuse besides fucking laziness. Pure laziness. That is the only excuse for low percentages, right? Nothing to do with population, nothing to do with the voting age, which that is one thing that will probably more than likely change. It's a big thing that's going on with the Democratic Party. If it does, if the House and the Senate do flip, voting age will probably change. That is something they've been speculating on the different news channels today and for the last week, and they've been showing more coverage on that. A lot of places, especially in California, they are trying to lower the voting age to 16. And I say they, it's a certain group of them. I don't know if it's a majority of them or a minority of them, but I know it's a decent amount to where it's getting national stance. So that would be interesting if a 16-year-old can vote for the president of the United States. It would definitely be interesting. I mean, the voting age used to be 21. They lowered the voting age from 21 to 18 back in the 70s, I believe. So it will definitely, it's not the first time that it's been lowered. And I wonder if it would actually happen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Yeah, we're in.
And the myth, the legend, the streaming god himself.
Oh, yeah.
Midas. I
We're
like
here.
how you're coming on here to talk about politics and you put your fucking gamer tag on the
I
bottom
did.
just
It's
in
there.
case one of my 4 viewers would be like, "Oh, this guy streams on Twitch? What?"
There we go. Look at that. We fixed it.
Oh,
We're
there
in.
we go. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I could change it to something.
AKA Misfit Mice.
Yeah.
Hi, Molly.
Molly, he said hi.
Hi.
She's back there.
Welcome to the stream back at Molly's head.
Yeah. So we just did the math. If we pull everything that we're like predicted to pull right now, we win 278.
278.
Well, and by
We
sorry,
mean,
Republican.
conservatives, right?
Yeah. The Republican GOP right now. If we pull, so that's what I did that off of. That's Maine, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Texas, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, which are all still up in the air. But yeah, you've got it right there. But if we pull all
I'm
those,
prepared. We are prepared here on the underqualified and overcompensated.
Yeah, if we pull all of those, then we've got that pretty easy.
So Maine's got 4 votes, which could, these little 4-vote states, like
there it is. Yeah,
cumulatively, they could determine it in the end. Like they could add up, right? But it's these big chunks that are still undeclared that they're kind of worried about. North Carolina, 93% in. Trump's kind of pulling away right now.
If we lose North Carolina, that could hurt. But now, even looking at then, it's like Montana and Idaho just started pulling in, and like it looks like we're gonna do. Oh no, Montana's close. But that's only 3. Idaho we could probably take.
Yeah, you're going to take.
Yeah, sorry.
Not probably. Like
yeah.
No, you're going.
Everything. All right, the first poll just popped in. Do you see them? They just popped
this area
on
right here.
California and all that stuff just came in.
Oh, did it?
Oh well,
there we go. It just popped up on mine.
Yeah.
So Idaho, boom. They're already calling it. I mean, that's.
Yeah,
I could have told you that before we even voted.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen. Obviously, this area is always red. And it always will be until it eventually changes. And then we have this blue wall that goes down the bottom. So I was waiting for them to call California. And what's funny is their polling hasn't even closed yet. They haven't even reported it, and they already called it for Biden.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Like the second they go live, they're like called. Like they're
not even playing any games. They're like, let's not be dumb here.
You did see, by the way, that the Vegas odds switched to Trump, right? A little while ago. No. Like as in like the actual like Vegas odds, like the betting odds.
Did they?
They switched to Trump a while back. Yeah. It's also kind of lying there, right? Like if you look at the freaking like the part now, because all the like the actual like decided like handed out called whatever, like Biden's already at 209, but that's honestly he's gonna get, let me think, 16, 27, 33. He's gonna get 33 more votes, and that's it. So he'll probably cap out a little bit lower than that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll now that a lot of these are coming in now, right? Texas. I like how you just jumped on in the stream and you already know how to like share your screen. Like you figured this out way faster than Firth, and it's been a year.
We're working on it, all right. I just looked down. I was like, oh wow, there's a share screen button. And I was like, well, that's like, pretty cool.
You figured out how to jump in, change your name, and share screen in 5 minutes. It has taken Firth. Still doesn't know how to do it. We've been doing this for a year.
Yeah, Molly's over here looking at the map too, asking questions. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, Molly. So like even if they have the seaboard like based, as long as Trump wins everything that we talked about a minute ago and add it up, we're gonna win no matter what.
Yeah, I was just saying like they turn.
You need 270 to win.
Right.
And we're gonna pull right now.
It's 207 to 119.
What?
Is this number the ones that are only
that are guaranteed? Yeah. I think now we're gonna end up pulling 285. We'll pull 285, and then of course the Democratic Party will then proceed to dispute the election, and then we'll go into dispute election status for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that happens every time.
Rioting is going to happen.
100%.
People have
we talked about it earlier on the podcast when we were on earlier today, and we had a gentleman that got Rico all fiery because it wasn't even pointed at Rico, but he got mad either way. Because I was saying that I feel that if Trump wins, Democrats and liberals are going to riot. It's going to happen, right? I don't feel that if it was on the other hand, if Biden wins, I don't feel like there's going to be a bunch of conservatives lighting shit on fire and breaking into stores. And this gentleman jumped on our YouTube page, which I still appreciate him for his comments. Love that he jumped on.
What did they just call?
But he jumped on and was saying, hey, that's a little racist. And we're like, that, for one, doesn't make sense. That's not how race works. So Rico then just proceeded to tell him to fuck off. And I was like, let's talk to the man first.
Yeah, that I think. What did they just call on yours? What state did they just call that was huge? Florida. They just called Florida on yours. I haven't gotten Florida called on mine, but they just called Florida for you. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was listening. Yeah, no, I think that with the writing, I think you're probably going to see a lot more prolific writing on the Democratic Party side, spread across if the Republicans win. But I think on the if for whatever reasons it's vice versa, I don't know. I don't think you're going to see writing, but you're going to see in a lot of different ways. Which, by the way, like if you're listening to this and you're thinking about going to go like freaking run down a Biden bus, please don't do that. Not a good look. All right, not a good look for the Republican Party when you see a bunch of people running down a Biden bus now being investigated by the FBI. Not a good look. All right. Plus, if you're going to do it, at least do it right. Right? Like at least turn it into an actual operation and do it right. Like Lord have mercy.
Hey, you be nice, Ramball. This is one of the few times where people want Idaho or think of Idaho. You're the only time Idaho's ever been brought up in an election was when Philip mentioned it 4 seconds ago. Otherwise, if you're watching CNN and Fox News right now, they didn't even utter the fucking word.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, it's 4 votes.
Just to declare, they're like, oh, Idaho's polls are up. We've declared it for Trump. All right, let's move on.
Sorry, I don't want to brag or anything.
Oh, but, actually, hold on a hot second. No,
Trump will pull. They've already called it.
Oh, he will. He will. But this just took me off guard. 23%, and they have 55 over 42 Joe Biden.
Well, it's same thing in Virginia. If you look over at Virginia, Biden's 46, Trump's 52, and they've called it for Biden.
So what do you think? So you're doing research into these and like you're looking. So you might know how they do this a little bit better than me. What is making them call it for one so early? But then when these numbers are skewed like this, like what are they saying that we're not? Are they just going off of opinion polls and prior voting?
A lot of it, if you look at it, right, is going to be a lot of major population centers that have it sometimes. So even though like it's down on like actual percentages, I think that they estimate, like with 58% based on the regions. So like if you pull up actual,
so they're looking at the counties too.
Yeah, so like if you pull up actual Virginia stuff that I've like broken down, like Alexandria, Richmond, Roanoke. It almost looks like a portion of Virginia Beach / Chesapeake City. Actually, you're like all going for Trump, but really like a lot of the other major population centers are going for Joe Biden. And like obviously like you're going to be down some, but it looks like that's where the majority, the population is going to be like Fairfax, et cetera, and stuff like that. Which is interesting, by the way. He's looting in literally his the town he lives in right now. That area. No, Trump. But if you actually look around it, I think they just expect the major population centers to follow suit enough. They're going to call it compared to the rural counties, across it, right? Like, I mean, look, you're looking at the voting, like most of these counties,
sense kind of when they start voting, right? So if they start with the bigger cities, like that's probably what's going on over in Idaho. They probably are starting with Boise, and then they're moving out from there. Into these more rural areas, which is obviously that like this is the part that voted for Biden. Just right here where my cursor is, this little tiny county area. That's it.
Oh, here you go. Right. So if you look at the screen I have pulled up right now, so if you pull up, it's it's called the size of the victory. So if you look at Arlington County, so like Trump had 21,000, Biden had 100,000 votes on that one, and then like you spread across 135 for Biden compared to like you come out in some of these smaller counties, he's not winning by as much or a lot less voting. So I think they're going to continue to see those actual population centers rise. They just already called it. Even though
so they're looking at those too. Okay. Yeah, so they're not just looking at the numbers, they're looking at the counties and the populations per size.
Yeah, I think they're looking across the board, yeah.
Okay.
So they're just calling it. But Florida, Florida and Georgia were scaring me. I was getting freaking nervous, dude.
Georgia was they still haven't even called Georgia with 66% in. It's 54 over 44 Trump, and they still haven't even called it. So
yeah.
I mean, if we go to the counties here in Georgia, it's a lot of red, little blues.
I think we're going to take Georgia. I'm pretty confident that all the early initial polling was pulled out. By the way, it's funny that mine still hasn't called Florida. They've called it on a lot of different sites. Like a lot of different sites have called it, making it like text and stuff too. So, but
I have several different things up. Associated Press still hasn't called Florida. New York Times. New York Times hasn't called Florida either.
Yeah.
But Fox News has.
I'm looking at the Georgia map. This is if you want to know how population centers affect voting, ladies and gentlemen, here's your prime example of who votes what. Right there.
I mean, yeah, that's going to be a given, right? I mean, that's why California is such a powerhouse, and because it's massively populated, cities are generally liberal and democratic. So, of course, more of the population is going to be there.
Mm-hmm. And then also important to note, right, is like the House and the Senate elections coming in right now. So, they've already called that the Democrats have won the House, which could be very fair, right? But then you're also looking across the board at the Senate race, and obviously Senates are even, so it doesn't matter how many, what the population size is, because it's two for everyone. I'm not insulting anybody's intelligence, but it's two for everyone, right? So obviously, the more states we take as a whole with those, and like the better chance. Like I know, like from Tennessee, like our Republican nominee won for the Senate, and it's pretty much.
I think in Kentucky was another one with who was it? Mitch McConnell. His race was up as well, and of course he won over in Kentucky. And then you had Lindsey Graham, I believe, in Georgia. He's projected to win as well.
Yeah, and if you look right, so there are.
So it was at the Senate that was already democratically ran, right?
I'm blanking. No, the other way around, right?
No, because Nancy Pelosi was the Speaker of
the House.
Okay, so it was the House.
The House is Democratic, and then the Senate was Republican with Mitch McConnell as a leader. But if you actually look at the breakdown, so 75 seats were up for election, so 25 were. So we have 25 in the balance tonight, which they say the Democrats are leading on right now. Obviously, it's pretty close right now, 43 to 44. But they said that the Dems, and then they say the Dems have already won the House, but I guess we will find out.
Yeah, 41 to 44, and then 97 to 131 for the House. Because the House, all of the seats are up.
I don't think they're going to take the House though. They might. It might be really close, especially when you factor in California being entirely Democratic.
Well, I mean, not entirely though, because the northern part of it.
Yeah, that's true. Like all the wine region and stuff like that.
Yeah, the northern part of it is large. Pretty much all of. Let me find a better map. All of here up is mostly conservative, especially as you start getting farther closer up. And then it's the same way with Oregon. This bottom half, even like kind of umbrella curving up, is mostly conservative as well. And then it's the northern part of Oregon going into Washington, and that's largely Democratic. And so a lot of these states, even though they're hard blue, if you're ever looking at the map, I recommend doing what we just did and looking at where's that at? Looking at the counties. Because that is going to show you, and they haven't started showing it for California yet, but that kind of shows you where these powers lie. Here in Texas, a lot of people think that Texas is this huge Republican stronghold. And across Texas, that's a true statement. But a lot of the city centers, Austin, Houston, Dallas, they are held by Democrats. And so you have these areas down here, over here, up here in the north, Dallas County, that are largely liberal. So that's why Texas is such kind of in that middle area right now. And it's the same way with Florida, right? A lot of these counties are the bigger cities around Tampa and other cities that are large that I don't know the name of in Florida.
Naples. Naples is one that's blue.
Yeah, those ones, right?
All right, that one actually surprises me, right? Considering the fact that Naples is like the rich town, like rich county in Florida, like the super rich one, like them putting blue. Yeah, it is. It's like, well, of course, it's a lot of elderly people though in their retirement age, so that could also be it. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, super interesting though, especially like when you look coming across like even Georgia for a while. Like Georgia was losing, and by losing, sorry, the Georgia was up for Biden for a long time in the initial bit, and it just pulled recently more for Trump, and I think that could have been probably just some of the later poll places in the more rural areas, I guess. But
Yeah, it's
the actual
54 to 44 in Georgia.
yeah, there's no way that we're losing.
67% of the votes are red, so they're almost 75%, almost 3/4 of it all. And yeah, that Trump's probably going to take Georgia more than likely.
Yeah,
I'm not really going to make any predictions until North Carolina calls it, because that's still really the only one that's cut in. North Carolina and Pennsylvania are the big ones in the middle, and even Pennsylvania with 46% and 55% for Trump. That's
huge. I think the only one that could still flip is North Carolina, maybe Wisconsin, but I guess
60% of the vote in, 51 and 47.
There's also a chance, I guess, maybe let me look at Michigan, because we don't have that much reporting in for Michigan yet. I want to kind of see what the county breakdown is for Detroit right now. I feel like there's
44%, and it's 54 to 43 Trump.
I'm trying to look at some of the major population centers. It looks like okay, so they've actually had quite a few people vote. It looks like they've had almost 700,000 votes just in the Detroit area alone.
So 700,000 just in Detroit?
Like the surrounding counties, like the three surrounding counties of Detroit. Also,
Trump's got 975,000. Oh wait, no, I was looking at Wisconsin. 1.3 million, and then Biden's got 1 million votes in.
Yeah,
like that is ridiculous. The amount of people that have voted for them with 44% of the votes in for Michigan is the entire population of my home state.
Yeah, Tennessee sits at about 6 million people.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the very first time that I went to when I was in medic training down in San Antonio, and they told me that San Antonio had 2 million people in it, I was like, that's my entire state.
You know, and it actually surprised me that I'm looking at this too, is that they have already called the vote in Tennessee. Oh, never mind. I just updated. There it is. So I was going to say they had most of the vote come in now.
92% surprisingly, of the vote, 61 to 37.
Yeah, Knoxville. Yeah, it was actually. I'm proud of my home state. That's all I'm saying. Knoxville and Chattanooga, two major population centers, pulled like in the county, like pulled Trump, which actually blew me away. Yeah, that blew me away. Knoxville and Chattanooga are huge, but like, and they pulled Trump.
Actually, that doesn't surprise me. Like knowing the little bit that I know about Tennessee, though, because Knoxville is largely just that population that would live in Knoxville, even though it's a big city.
Yeah, I'm from literally just east of Knoxville, like one county over.
Yeah, like I would feel like that would still be,
a
lot of conservative leaning people in that area.
Yeah, literally only Memphis and Nashville were the only. There were 3 blue counties in all of Tennessee. Memphis and Nashville with one and another one outside of Memphis. That was it.
Well, yeah, it's 207 to 148 right now.
The Politico, I'm looking at Politico because I like the way the map looks or whatever right now, and it is.
But they're not updating anything.
It's cracking me up because they're still giving Biden the win right now, which I feel like your job comes around once every 4 years, and like this is it. Like, and I feel like 2 armchair people sitting in a Facebook stream right now should not be able to count votes better than the people that do this for a living.
Well, I mean, so most of the sites are reading that win to Biden right now. The Associated Press 209 to 118.
Yeah,
but they haven't counted Florida. They didn't give Trump Florida yet. They haven't finished Texas. Montana, for some odd fucking reason, they haven't.
Yeah, we all know Montana is gonna switch. Well, it's actually pretty close. So I lied. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe they magically pull blue because they think that they're horses like Joe Biden.
No.
Cowboys, all right? It's all Cowboys, okay? That's all I know about Montana. That's all it is.
You're correct.
It's Cowboys.
None of them are voting for Biden.
Cowboys high suicide rates.
Not a single thing about Biden says we're going to let you keep your land and we're not going to fuck with
I have
it.
something I need to show you. This is I don't know if I sent this in your actual chat or not. I don't know if that was with us. With us? Yeah, it was. That was where I saw that. Yeah, that cracked me up, dude, when I saw that.
I
That made
honestly
me laugh.
never knew how politically like left or right you leaned until you
Oh.
sent that meme, and immediately I was like, okay.
I'm pretty far on the right side.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I
Viewers
mean,
of the
yeah,
show.
and it doesn't bother me either way, like
Yeah.
whether left, right, independent, whatever. But I don't know. It hurts, right? Like it hurts sometimes because there are things that even though I lean towards the right, I love seeing people get upset for that are very strictly and strongly Republican, conservative, whatever, when they're like, Biden's gonna raise the taxes. I'm like, brother, like if you're gonna get upset about something, him raising the taxes for people making over $400,000 a year are probably not the thing to get concerned about when you work as a janitor at the local high school. All right, like that will not affect you.
At least, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we have it here from a man who has called himself highly conservative, telling you to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
because
it will not
all
affect you.
People in the middle have been telling you this for months.
Yeah, it like I have so much fun. the WAP ramble.
Salt penguins. That fucking good job, Ramball. Good,
It's coming, dude.
Spot on. That's perfect.
It's coming. No, it honestly, I am less scared, and this sounds kind of bad in a political stream. I'm less scared about what the results of the election are tonight. I am more scared about the next like 79 days. Or 80, 79, 80 days, right? Like that's what I'm scared about is whatever happens in between now and election day, no matter who wins, that is what I'm scared about. I am nervous.
Are you talking about like the discourse within the country, or
I'm talking about the fallout
with who gets elected?
I do not care about the flip. I am nervous about the fallout with the people of the United States.
Country?
I am scared. I am nervous.
Honestly, you should be. Because So it has me concerned too, and it honestly has me thankful of living where I live right now.
Yeah.
Right. For one, I'm on post, so ain't nobody protesting on post. Super good.
Yeah.
But even if I lived off post, living around Fort Hood, like I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna go protesting on the streets of Fort Hood, and if they're going to, they're gonna go down Rancière and just fuck up that shitty street anyway.
Well, we got lucky. Like, I think a big telltale sign of it was like a lot of the riots that happened this summer and like where they happened at least, right? And so like Columbus is the same way. We saw nothing. Like people across the country are like, oh man, like they're like dying in like these I would almost say media fueled. Like, don't get me started because I'll talk for an hour about it. Like rage on all the riots that were happening. But then like we went to Atlanta for a couple nights and Atlanta was destroyed. Like that is no joke. Wow. Like I was blown away. Like if in the center there downtown, like around Olympic Park, like I've never been to Atlanta, but they have that big park in the center called Olympic Park and everything else like revolves around it and they're downtown. And like every ground level building's windows were shattered, like done in, like all of them. As far as you could throw a rock from ground level, like the windows were done. Restaurants were closed because they had literally been rioted and looted. Like every store, like 9% of them, like it was hard literally finding somewhere to eat in downtown Atlanta in like their main area because everything was just closed. And it wasn't COVID. It was literally just everything getting broken down. It was pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, I listen to a lot of other podcasts, and one of the main ones I listen to is the Joe Rogan podcast. And he said that one of the main reasons why he moved to Texas from LA was because of the riots. Alex Jones asked him on this last episode, he was like, so what made you move? And he said, the riots. That's exactly what made me move. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Jenkins.
Hey,
fine, sir. Andy is a close childhood friend from Idaho. Andy, if you look at it, let me show you this glory. Oh, no, it flipped. Never mind. 5 seconds ago, Biden was winning somewhere. So my concern's no longer there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We're not. No one is worried about Idaho at this point.
Yeah.
Literally, and reporting is 20% in. When they're at like 10%, Biden was at like 69% of the vote, and I was like, that's kind of weird. They must have just been counting Boise. They've now gone out. They're no longer just counting Boise's votes now.
So here's the question: do you think both sides or one side, whichever one wins, do you think the election is going to be disputed by the other side? And if so, which side?
So, honestly, the only side that I know for 100% that will do it is President Donald Trump.
I would say if it's within five electoral votes, either side would dispute it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's within 5, but if it's within 100, President Trump will dispute it 100%.
Which you can already tell by the numbers it's going to be. So,
is it now? Ooh, here we go. Contention.
Wait, wait, did he just say Biden or Trump? Sorry, I missed that.
He was insinuating that President Trump will lose by 100 points.
no, I'm not saying he will. I'm saying regardless of who wins or loses, it's going to be within 100 already.
Oh. Yeah, you think it's going to be like the 2016 election, like 306 and
it'll be less than that.
160.
No, it's going to be way closer than that. It's going to be within 20.
I'm calling 285, right? So 285 is what I'm calling. Like that's what Trump's
Yeah, you were doing your nerd math over there.
The numbers are done, all right? Like numbers are done. Trump is taking 285 votes. We win.
That's his bet. What's the over under on that?
A lot. It's funny. I'm looking at yours, right? I'm
Are
looking
you
at
on
your map.
DraftKings?
No, I should be though. I make a lot of money tonight. So honestly, we woke up. We knew, somebody died at his house. We knew somebody was winning, right? Like this morning, I woke up. The stock market went up 4.5% today, and I was like, all right, that's easy. Like I knew Trump won when I woke up this morning.
You already knew he won when he woke up this morning?
Yeah, because the stock market was up.
Alejandro
Right?
Rambo,
They know.
welcome to the
All
show.
right. The stock market knows. The stock market knows everything, and it moves. And like stock market's up 4.5%. It's not going up for Joe Biden. I'll tell you that much because those guys want their money. All right, like it's going up for Trump. So 4.5% going up on that. I woke up. I was like, all right, this is easy.
That is one thing that has never made sense to me. How a stock market, right? It goes off of trade and values. How literally just a person can affect that. I don't understand.
Well, because I mean, obviously, like with this one's I think bigger because you're looking at a lot more taxes, you're looking at a lot more restrictions imposed depending on different things, right? So like a lot of these businesses are looking at Trump as like being like the business daddy of the country or whatever, and so like it's a much better market for big business, not necessarily small business, right? But like business in general,
you're putting
big business.
Value on a projection of something that's not even tangible. It's an idea. On a name, like the actual stock market for the most part goes up and down because something actually tanked or it's actually gaining increase. Like people are buying the stock.
But it's all perception. But I think that's what the thing is, right? Is people are buying and selling based off predictions, based off this. So like that's what's making it fluctuate. Is so then these like really big name analysts for the stock market are saying like, all right, if Donald Trump wins, then like we already know what that looks like, and Joe Biden's made it very clear what's going to happen if he wins. So then this analysts start looking at that and they're like, hey, like if Trump wins, like this is going to be good, right? And so now all of a sudden everybody's trying to buy in because they think Trump's going to win. It's still at a decent spot because it's down right now because it went down this past week, right? And then so now they're starting to buy, so that's making it go rapidly up really quick. So we saw like a 4% yesterday, 4% today. It's like up 8%, I think, over the past 2 days. I don't know. The stock market's pretty predictive, especially when you assume like these like high end analysts that do this stuff that that move in massive numbers. Like more than any normal person could fathom. Like if one or two people make that move off those guys, like the stock market's raising crazy because they're just buying share after share after share after share after share after share. Like in numbers that I couldn't even dream of. Like they're buying more shares.
How many energy drinks have you had today?
One.
Yes.
No. I had 2 and then a coffee tonight, so I guess 3.
Fucking jacked.
Yeah, I'm good. I had a coffee like 2 hours ago. I'm good. Had my
Ramball's looking
caffeine.
real sus over there in his whoopee.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, I was gonna say that if no one else was.
He's looking real sus. I had to. I mean, you lined it up for me. He knew I was gonna say it when he wrote that name.
What name?
Imposter. Got a sus.
So Eddie, what are you thinking? Looking at this, right? You're the bright legal mind.
Okay,
podcast.
first of all, no one goes to law school to be a politician, at least not in their right mind.
Obama was literally
if
a Harvard law professor.
right?
No, I'm not saying you can't get there with a law degree. I'm saying you shouldn't go to law school with politics in mind. Because
You want to be a DA. Make the money, baby. Go for it, dude. You be corrupt. Take the drug money. You won't.
Wait, do you want drug money? Because I know some soldiers.
So
what are you thinking looking at this?
So looking at this, the first thing that I think of is we're not going to know who wins until I think Thursday.
I mean, obviously, Pennsylvania, they've already declared that Pennsylvania will not we will not know Pennsylvania until the next week.
So
Yeah, it's fine. We're winning either way.
Philadelphia is actually not counting any more mail-ins. They're done counting mail-in ballots for the day.
Oh, for the day, yeah, because they have until the 9th, right?
Well, they received. I just actually looked while you guys were talking. They got around 350,000 of them. They only counted about 75,000, and they said that they're not counting anymore. But looking at the map the way it is right now, if Biden doesn't win Pennsylvania, he's done.
Yeah, I mean, so me and Philip were talking about it earlier. Obviously, North Carolina. By the way, good morning, Rico. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I just got back from hot yoga. Sorry.
For your
Where are you
vacation.
at? Where are you at right now?
Costa Rica.
He's on a spicy vacation.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Yeah. He's on a spicy vacation.
What time is it in Costa Rica right now? Oh,
Yeah, I'll put something in the chat.
okay.
Now he's tracking.
Hope you enjoy Costa Rica.
In an undisclosed location in Costa Rica.
These are their stories. Dum dum.
No, but me and Philip were talking about it earlier. North Carolina and Pennsylvania are really the only ones that are like a real toss-up right now. And I think North Carolina can be the one that really declares it.
That could be too.
It's easy. Trump.
Well, because
I love the confidence. I really do.
That combination could get Biden there as well. But I guess it's really going to come down to whether or not he wins Arizona and one other.
Arizona?
Which he's leading by about 8 points right now. But he's
actually, they just called Arizona for Biden.
So he needs to couple that with one other one.
Yeah. So they just called. Boom,
Yeah.
boom,
So
boom.
according to my calculations,
CNN just called it for Biden.
Even if North Carolina goes to Biden, like Trump's still pulling 270, hot and heavy. Like 270's coming in.
You're counting Texas in that, right?
I'm 100% counting Texas in that. Trump.
Texas is gonna go blue.
Trump. No. I was scared earlier. I'm good now. All right. Look, Trump bad's coming in at 270. North Carolina, even if it goes blue, doesn't matter. If it does go red, 285. Easy one.
285. Easy dub. Going home, boys.
We did it. It's time to go home.
I guess I'll just look it up. How many electoral votes is it for Texas?
It is
38.
38. Yeah.
It's the second highest. So California, then Texas, then Florida have the top three. Oh, and
New York South. Yeah.
Oh, they already called Florida red? Oh shit.
Oh yeah. They called it about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Dude. Done.
98% of the vote in, 51 to 47. Yeah, they called New York before they even started counting.
Oh yeah.
And California.
Goddamn Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah. And California's polls aren't even closed right now, and they've already called it for Joe Biden.
Yeah. That was definitely.
Well, yeah. As soon as New York polls open, they called it for Biden because they called Hillary Clinton. They're like, "Hey, so you're gonna okay."
And she was like, "You know what it is, fam?
You know what we do. You know how we do."
Yo, dead ass. We riding with Biden. That's what Hillary said.
So Rambo, how are you feeling in Florida?
I thought it was a continuation to that question. In general?
Yeah.
Fine.
So what are you thinking? You jumped into the political portion of this podcast. What are you feeling?
Oh no!
What are your projections for this?
I am way over my debt on this, man.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
just a passenger in this sinking cruise ship, and I'm just watching this go.
He's like, I'm just fucking here.
I voted
Aren't we
for
all?
the first time.
I'm
Still don't
proud
feel
of
like
you.
Shit. I am still not sure if it did anything or if it will ever do anything, but yeah.
Your vote counts. Every vote matters.
Not every vote matters.
Not in Idaho. If you're a Democrat in Idaho, your vote doesn't matter. Let's
Yeah,
get
you're
that
fucked.
straight. All right. Like, your vote.
Like,
It's the same thing. Like being a Republican in California. Once again, your vote does not matter.
I honestly think it might be worse. Oh, wait, never mind. See, Idaho's throwing me for a loop. Like, no one gives a shit about our 4 electoral votes, but Idaho's, we're doing some flip-floppy stuff, man.
Bro, straighten your state out.
Dude, that's like all Boise. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
literally
Like,
10 minutes ago, it was 80% to like 18.
Yeah, that is 100% Ada County.
Oh, yeah.
It is nothing else.
Let's see if they started reporting counties. No, not even started reporting counties yet.
Yikes. Also, I have on my screen the 2004 presidential elections pulled up between John Kerry and George W. Bush.
2004?
No, hear me out. Ready? Hear me out. So that was outside of 2016, right? Which we can come in 2016, so we can look at them, right, for comparison, right? 2016 election results. All right. So if we're looking at the actual map, if this will actually come up here. All right. So this is 2016's election results. So now looking across the board, it's kind of similar, except obviously when you actually look at it, we're probably not pulling Arizona right now. And then other than that, though, like it's pretty close, right? Like it's.
So they called Arizona for Biden.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we're not pulling that, right? But like other than that, it's almost exactly the same. Am I missing anything?
No information whatsoever. I would have thought that Arizona would have gone red.
Right.
Yeah, I would too.
That would have been my mine as well. Like I'm trying to because I'm
UK Telegraph is already calling it for Trump. That's what I looked at first thing when I woke up. Oh, well, when I got back from hot yoga. Never mind.
You're making
thing.
this extremely difficult. You're making this really hard. All right.
So Kanye West isn't on all ballots, right? But surprisingly, he's on Idaho's ballot.
I wrote him in.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote him in? Okay.
It's the other option.
But he's on Idaho's ballot, and so far he has 100 or 1,100 votes.
Listen,
He has over 1,000 votes. Joe Jorgensen has 5,000, so it does not make me feel good that Kanye is trailing behind Joe Jorgensen in Idaho right now.
Kanye West, I straight up put as my nomination for the second senator for Tennessee in this election.
Was he on there?
No,
I wrote him in.
Yeah, it was a write-in. No, I'm just kidding. I did that. I don't before you.
He's not even eligible for that state. You're just like, fuck it. I didn't know who any of the representatives running in Idaho were, so I just wrote in Kanye. He's just gonna get nominated. Be like, hey man, you're our governor now. He's be like, what?
Governor of Iowa? That's the potato one, right?
That's the East Coast, right?
The Sun Valley. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to look at the map right now, and it won't show me anything bigger than nothing.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
You're correct. Biden, I have to lean in so fucking close. Yeah,
closer.
It's Boise County or Ada County.
Is there any hair on your head?
There's a little bit. I haven't shaved my head in like 4 days, so there's a little stubble. Nope, you can't even fucking see it. God damn, why am I fucking bald? Fuck you, Dad.
Shaved your head, man. I still got the video.
I shave my head every week. Thank you very much.
It's not hard. There's not much there. He has to get the one hair on the top, and then he just keeps moving.
You just use tweezers at this point, really?
I like the feeling. I like the smoothness of it.
You wax it?
That would be. I don't even know if that works with like head hair. I think it's too thick.
It's so
but back to
find
the
out.
thing at hand, not my fucking early onset fucking baldness. Okay.
Wilford Brimley here, and I'm here to talk to you today about type 2 adult onset baldness. If you or a loved one ever experienced blinding light.
If you or a loved one ever experienced
type 2
unsettling widening of your hairline.
Well, Medicaid can deliver medication straight to your doorstep through the help of Liberty Medical.
Diabetes.
Beast. Oh, Maine just flipped, baby. Wow.
Did it?
What?
Wow.
Is Maine red now? Because I
Maine's blue
have
now.
a inside track. The Maine is basically Republican. It's
That was
blue?
actually one that
Wow,
surprised
Maine
me.
changed it up.
So CNN or what is it? What am I on? Fucking Fox News? Yeah, Fox News.
Totally unbiased news source, by the way, in case anybody out there is curious.
That's why I have New York Times over here. Like, there's a
I
reason.
couldn't pull that one up. They said I had to buy a subscription. So I was like, nah, like I'm all right. Like,
No, I got New York Times right here.
wow.
New York Times. They're saying "fuck you, Maine." Fox News also not declaring Maine yet, or no, they declared it Biden. Yeah.
That hurts.
Oof.
That's 4 votes that we really need because if he takes North Carolina and Maine,
No one ever
that's,
says that about 4 votes.
you do when North Carolina will put you at 270 if you lose it. If you lose North Carolina, that puts Trump at 270 right now. And then Maine now puts him at 266, which in case you're bad at math at home, 266 is less than 270, which is what you need.
Oh, thank you.
That's how that works, guys, out there, in case anyone's curious, right?
Not just the people at home. I'm also bad at math,
There's-
so thank you.
There's like some second lieutenant out there at home, like writing notes really quick. He's like, oh wow, what good guys?
He's like, wait. 2, 7, 2, 6,
Yeah.
6. 2, 7.
I think he raised his hand. So, sir, how did you come across the fact that 266 was lower than 270? That's great. Wow, thank you so much for your wisdom.
Oh God, I can't wait to be an officer. You make me so proud.
I'm sick and tired of this book. I just can't.
Well, welcome, Carl. Everyone say hello to Carl. Carl has been on since the very beginning, and I don't know who he is.
Hello,
Carl!
Carl. Anyway. All right, Carl. Listen, what's Michigan
Carl.
doing? Let me break you down what Michigan's
Carl,
doing. All right.
welcome to the Underqualified and Overcompensated Political Podcast. Today, we're not generally a political podcast, but today we are. And going to you right now, hot and heavy, is our senior political advisor.
If I'm your senior political advisor, then we do not need to be a political show because you're going to be in
We
trouble.
do
Right?
not have anything
It's-
better.
It's in the title, underqualified and overcompensated.
Free is overcompensation, in case anyone's curious.
Correct. What do you think we make? We lose money doing this.
Listen. Trump is up
Lost a lot of
11.
money.
Trump is up 11% in Michigan. It's huge. It's huge. They're great people, lovely people. The votes are great there. They're huge votes, great votes, wonderful people. I talked to them at the polls. They're phenomenal people, right? The way they press the buttons, phenomenal. Better than anybody I've ever seen press buttons before. It's great. They're up 11% there. The 11% is huge though, better than any 11% in the nation, Carl. Huge. All right, listen, this 11% is the greatest 11%. 16 electoral votes. Great electoral votes. You know, I talked to him last week. The electoral votes, best electoral votes in the nation. Best electoral votes. All right. And I think we're the great people there. Lovely people, by the way. Fine people. I think we're going to win. You know, I talked to them. You know, I kind of liked them. I shook their hands. They told me they loved me. I told them back the exact same thing. Yeah, Michigan, great state. I think we're going to pull it.
Fantastic. That's the end of the show. Can't top that.
I can't do accents, but I can like do impersonations of the way people talk. I can't do like their actual accent though. I'm awful at that. The only thing I can do is a redneck accent, and that's because I have one. So
Hey.
we're gonna take you down to North Carolina right now, where we're looking down at the votes and coming in North Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, only up by 1.4%, ladies and gentlemen.
Arizona just changed colors or something. I don't know what happened.
Did they?
Well,
Oh, they're
yeah, they
still
just
blue.
They went light blue as opposed to full blue.
Solid blue. Wow. That's funny how people can predict a call and then not actually call it. It's good. These people
We
are
kind
good
of
at
jumped
their
the gun on
jobs,
this one, guys.
These people are good at their jobs. All right. Listen, every 4 years, these guys come out of the woodworks and get paid to turn colors blue or like not blue on a slide, and they mess that up. Just remember that when you're having a bad day at work. Remember that.
Watch it. The actual colors are going to be flipped. All the blue states are now red, and all the red are now blue.
There we go.
There's some intern getting fucking reamed right now because he didn't click the button.
Yeah, there's some version of a civilian version of a lieutenant colonel like screaming at a brand new second lieutenant trying to like put slides that he doesn't get paid. He's an intern, you know. He's like been up on 48 hours of like no sleep, like trying to get him coffee while still clicking the slides, and they're like just getting demolished right now.
So Arizona, Biden, Utah, obviously Trump, Nevada. Why haven't they called this? 1% in, and they haven't called it yet.
It's honestly ridiculous that they still have not counted 99% of the votes and haven't called it yet. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah,
Fake news media in Nevada, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Fox News.
The counter in Nevada, he's in a fucking casino right now. Doesn't know what time it is because the way it's set up. Like, oh, I thought it was fucking last Sunday. I've been here so long.
Wait, today's election day?
What?
Which, by the way, why hasn't North Carolina been called yet? They've been sitting at 94% since we started.
Dude, I don't know. They slowed down. They honestly probably stopped counting. I'm not. This is my news. Dude, this guy looks smart. Close election may come down to Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan.
Oh.
And something
else. It was my
else.
Idaho news. Don't worry about it. It's not important.
The cat.
Yeah, fucking Larry Gebbert was telling me about the election. Fucking Larry Gebbert.
Larry Gebbert.
I'm going to go to bed and wake up and Kamala Harris is going to be president.
Oh my God, don't say that.
She's just standing behind Biden. Like a game of Among Us, and as soon as they're like, Biden won, all of a sudden her head opens up, she eats half his body.
She comes out of the vent in the White House like, good night. there's a vent in the Oval Office she just like pops out of.
There's just a campaign intern sitting there like, hey guys, I didn't want to say
emergency meeting.
No, that just means Kamala's going to blame the intern. He gets tossed out onto the front lawn, and Secret Service just carries him away.
Yeah, she'd be like, "I was here the whole time. Where were you?"
Yeah, I was doing tasks in the space room. I was doing tasks down the situation room.
Did anybody see Harris? No, it's electrical.
So real quick, I love that game. Me and Rico played it a little bit.
Yeah,
I love that game, but it has made me lose so much faith in humanity.
Oh, this entire election just feels like I'm watching a giant room, like a giant emergency room of them just arguing.
Oh, this whole year has been like that. Like, hey guys, Antifa's real sus.
You know what's even more exciting is I have to wake up in 6 hours to go for a run too. That's like no.
You know what?
Late call
I
for
also
election
have to wake up in 6 hours to drive my wife to the airport, so I don't want to hear it.
Would not do that. I'd be like, hey, listen, like take a cab. Good luck. Figure out how are you going to pay for that $300 cab? I don't know. Figure it out. Like,
no. Luckily, the landing strip's right in our backyard, so it's fine.
Sweet.
Oh, can you go right back to bed then?
Yes, I can.
So quit your bitching.
I also do PT on my own, so I don't know what you want from me.
Wow, I've been getting demolished the past 2 days in the gym. They've just been destroying me, and I'm not a gym person. I've been getting killed.
Yeah. Oh, you're not a gym person.
Wow, who would have thought that, right? Like, it's crazy. Look at my little lanky arms. Wow.
Yeah, you're so swole.
It's almost like this guy joined the army to do sit-ups, push-ups, and running, and then we changed it.
The old change-o, switch-o,
huh? Guess what you have to be able to do now? Deadlift 340 pounds. Good luck, light boy.
Hey, I joined the army to do moderate to minimal amount of physical exercise.
I was a nerd that decided to get in shape to join the army, and that is haunting me morbidly, not working out in the gym in high school because I'm now learning exercises at the ripe age of 25. And let me tell you.
Well, I did them the other day, and I was like, I'm oddly prepared for this. Okay.
Especially because of COVID, right? Like because of COVID, I've not been able to like go to a normal gym since like, January, February, really here. We have our apartment complex in which we can use, but it's all Smith equipment and dumbbells, right? Which means that there's nothing over 50 pounds I can pick up in one single hand. So I've not done deadlifts since like January. We did them a week and a half ago, and I was dead for like a week. Like I could not move my back. Like I stood up and was like, nah, sorry, bro. Like good luck.
See, that's the difference of our physical preparing. I also have not been going to the gym, and for the past year that I've been here, what I've been doing is just jujitsu. So I've just been lifting human beings And I went to go do the deadlift, did 260, and I was like, this is fine.
That's good. That's
I
good.
proceeded then to run and maxed everything else out. So, it's not that bad. It's okay.
Wow, that will not be my situation.
Yeah, but then I went to go do the knee tucks, and I failed like a small girl. So
the leg tucks are no joke, dude. Like,
yeah, Andy's the only one on here. Like, I don't know.
He's like,
you're
so
muted,
one
by
leg
the way.
tucks in your life.
I promise you, he's a lawyer, and we're.
Oh no, I know. My kid's screaming upstairs, and I don't want you guys to have to listen to that as well as me. So.
Yeah, we get it. You're out, Ramball. Shut up.
Is that a framed DD214?
Yeah. Hey, hold up your DD214 while you tell me how it is trying to find a fucking job during COVID.
Hey, that's why I saved up a whole year's worth of paycheck. I'm good, man.
Well, I didn't. It's why I just re-enlisted for 5 years.
We're broken. We're here till we quit, all right?
I'm over here flying planes. This is what I do. I'll be good. And I'll be getting... Actually, I get BAH wants to start university, so...
Dude, yours called Ohio, by the way.
I'm looking at that.
Mine has not yet, but yours has called Ohio.
God, that was gross. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Shinerbach Ruby Redboard tastes like Dookie.
That one's not good.
No. Okay, let's go with Shiner Cosmos Reserve.
I feel like that was not bad.
Okay, Ohio. Where's Ohio? There it is.
Yours is called Ohio.
Yeah. So that raises. Let me refresh it. Still 223 to 166, and then so let's do some. Most of these are filling up, right? So let's do some quick math.
Quick math.
So
I want to watch him do this math in his head.
I ain't doing it in my head. I'm writing it the fuck down. What are you talking about?
Are there sparks coming from your ears?
Yeah, what's real fun is I also do this with the life-saving medication mathematics I have to do.
Mathematics. Hey, bro, here's a couple. Good luck.
No, when they're like, hey, you have to calculate like IV drip and like the percentage of, fluids and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I need a pen and a piece of paper.
I'm gonna
like, you're in combat. I was like, I need a pen and a piece of paper.
Could you hear me? All right. Do you speaking of medics, do you remember when somehow magically I burned my hand in Latvia?
Oh, I remember.
I have no idea how that happened, and neither does Rhodes or Ramball. No one has any idea how I burnt my hand.
No idea.
But it was burnt.
I remember.
It was smoky.
Pepperidge Farms knows.
there's a
Pepperidge
video.
Farms remembers.
There's a video that floating around. That
Unrelated story. If you're going to hold a smoke grenade and you're going to wear gloves,
which you didn't,
hold the smoke grenade in the hand that is wearing the glove, not in the hand that doesn't have the glove on because you were fucking with your phone.
And then hold the smoke grenade.
And then hold the smoke grenade and get entranced into the beautiful billowy smoke, and then burn the fuck out of your palm. Unrelated to anyone involved.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with
me. No one has ever done that, though.
No.
Believe me.
Dude, I was so embarrassed. I tried to cover that up, so all I called
you should have been, because immediately as you showed it to me and you told me, I was like, the look on your face was like of a kid that did exactly what his dad told him.
I wasn't worried if like you do, right? Like I didn't want everybody knowing. Like, so you guys does like call center. So I'm like, look, like just have Ramball come to my truck, or like I will come to his truck like as soon as we stop. All right, like that is where I'm coming, and that is all that is happening. Is I'm going to that truck, and I'm just gonna get my hand wrapped. He's like, "What happened, sir? What happened?" I'm like, "It's not important what happened. All right, look, I just need him to like clean something off and bandage it up. All right, that's all that matters." And
not what I
comes over, he looks like, "What did you do to your hand?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I must have touched like the exhaust or the engine or something. I just grabbed it. Stupid boys will be boys." I grabbed the 50 cal barrel with my bare hand because we had to change in the heat of combat. All right, like, it's what I did, brother. He's like, no. And Silverman's in the back, like, Cephic's like, you idiot. Cephic's like, you're an idiot.
I think like Fuller like sold you out like almost immediately.
Probably. It traveled quick. There's actually on the back of the video, I literally have like Cephik in the end of the video. The Silverman was taking while I was doing this, like calling me a literal retard, like on the back of the truck at the end of the video.
Nothing like calling your commanding officer a retard. I saw the numbers go up.
The numbers moved.
The numbers changed. Numbers 203 to 204. Oh, Yeah, so they just added Texas,
Ohio, Texas. Oh, good night.
because that's literally the math I was doing right now. Was adding Texas up. So 204 with Texas. What else we got here? So Georgia still. Do you think Georgia's too close? Or...
No, we have Georgia. We have Georgia.
Yeah?
No question. 100% we have Georgia.
So if he wins with Georgia, right, that's 16. That's 220. Boom. Quick math.
That was very fast.
I know, right? I honestly impressed myself.
Do you need to borrow my calculator?
So it's
Still have
220
back in
to
calculator.
223.
Go for it.
And then
That's the button.
Pennsylvania, we're not going to call yet, even though it's 56% to 41.
We'll take Pennsylvania.
But North Carolina, that's too close. Still. So Michigan, actually, surprisingly, Trump's leading Michigan.
Trump's taking Michigan, babe. The car manufacturers want him, all right?
That's a
Did
valid
Michigan
point.
go red last time too?
No.
no,
Wait, did in
Michigan- no, did they?
2016.
Yeah. Before that, and before they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Trump
Yeah,
took
they were red
Michigan
last time.
by 0.2%.
Hey, that's all you need.
Yeah, he took Michigan, and he took Pennsylvania.
A win's a win. Exceed
Oh,
standards.
did they just give him Pennsylvania?
No. This is
No,
2016.
that was back in 2016.
Bro, I was having a heart attack. I was like,
He's about to start
It's
dancing.
over.
He's gonna pull his shirt over his head. Just, ah!
quick, honey, we're
Board
to
up
the
your
bank account. We're
windows.
buying stocks, baby. Let's go.
Board up your windows. Get your ARs. Trump just won.
Put
Call
on the
my
body
bookie.
armor. Put the body armor on right now.
Get in the bunker.
My doomsday bunker, my apartment complex. You're right. My bad. I have one of those in the basement I'm building. we're
Get in the bunker.
We're taking over the dude in a wheelchair's like apartment at the bottom of the building. We're calling that our bunker. All right.
There you go.
He doesn't need
You
it.
acquired it.
He uses very limited space.
Yeah, manifest destiny, bitch.
Yeah.
Here's a bucket. Stay in the corner. I'll cut a hole in the wheelchair. It'll be all right.
Like an American hero. Oh, Nebraska. Yep, they already called that for Nebraska.
Yeah, the Huskers are going red, baby.
So, like Minnesota, you think that's
Hey.
going Biden?
That's going blue.
Iowa going blue. So, so let's say so Michigan gonna
Also,
go
what's up
right.
with Nevada? Can we talk about Nevada? They've not reported a single thing tonight yet. Literally nothing. They're the only state in the entire country at 9 p.m. their time has not figured out how to submit one single vote.
Yeah, you
They have
right.
my
right?
grandma.
0% reporting. Yeah, they're on the machine like, oh, I've never. Wow, imagine the freaking people that run slots for a living can't figure out how to work an election machine.
No, you want to know what's funny?
It's because they're rigged.
Is the bookies, they're tracking the numbers, but their state government is not.
Yeah, the
Like they
bookies
got a
lost
dude
their
in the
story.
state government, like they're trying to tally stuff up and figure it out, but he's also talking to his bookie, and like he's leaning over to the dude in charge of like the poll counting. He's like, "Hey man, my bookie says Trump's got like 7 odds over." Like
Nevada's actually where the Russian voters are.
the Russian voters.
Yeah.
Oh, please tell me about this, Alex Jones.
Yeah. It's all the Russians, right? Was that in our chat too, where they sent the meme about the Russians getting excited to be in an election for once?
No, that was not in our chat. That was a
Yeah,
different one.
it was a meme that was like Russians when they watch Putin get elected for the 20th time. Russians during the American election when their vote actually counts, and they're like leaning forward and like all excited.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so if he wins Michigan, that's 236, right? And I'm not adding anything to Biden right now.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Well, I'm trying to add up states that are obviously going to go red, right? So I'm like Montana, that's a +3, so it's 239.
Did you add Georgia?
Yeah, I added Georgia up. That was a plus.
Did you add up Joe Biden's
16.
hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania? Going to Trump, baby.
That he lived there for like 10 years. Like,
That's fine.
come on, man. My wife was born in Maryland. She doesn't fucking claim it.
Hey, that's his line. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Would you just shut up?
Man.
One of my favorite points of 2020. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you.
What? Ask me. Go ahead. Ask me any question, Rhodes. Literally any question.
Any question?
Any question.
Do you think Alaska will vote for Biden?
220,000 American deaths.
Just
220,000 American deaths under this man right here. Go ahead, ask me another question. I'll give you the same answer. That's what, ladies and gentlemen, the debate.
Did you, Ben?
thank you for watching our
Thanks, Carl.
2020 presidential election debate recap.
Carl not only found us like an hour and a half ago, and he actually like participated in the show. Good job. Come back anytime.
Carl was great. Carl was my only company for 30 minutes as I was by myself.
I was
Listen,
there.
hot yoga ran hard. It ran long. It was hard
Lee
and long.
John Fisher in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, big fish.
Hey, that sounds like a familiar name.
Somebody
Coming in hot and heavy.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Actually, I talked to him in his broke ass because apparently he's falling apart. Fish's knees ain't doing great.
Same.
Aren't all of our knees bad?
Relatable.
Fish is doing rough.
Hey, let's go. Trump train.
For the cat, your cat's gonna vote for Satan. So, Montana +3 just for funsies. North Carolina, I'm not gonna call. So with Pennsylvania, that'll put them at 259, right?
What states do we've not added to that?
Minnesota and Iowa.
Iowa. We got Iowa.
Iowa, yeah.
Oh yeah, we got Iowa. 89% in. We're at 52%. That's an easy win. You might as well. I'll call that one right now. I'll call Fox and tell him to call it.
Yeah, we're calling Iowa.
Our senior political correspondent.
This just in from an apartment complex bedroom in Columbus, Georgia. They've decided to call Iowa an apartment 138.
Coming from you live, Misfit Midas.
A man with zero political experience just called the election. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're closing down for the night. He called it.
Sir, what makes you qualified to call this election? I have a history degree and I'm a captain in the United States Army.
Listen, if Trump's qualified to be president, ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, all I'm saying is I've got a pretty good chance at the political analysis.
I mean, fuck, at this point, you might as well put me in charge of COVID.
You're basically Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, you know, without the 50 plus years of like
Virus
master's
experience.
degrees, scientific research, and
Don't need it.
experience. Yeah.
Don't need it.
Obviously don't need it. It's unimportant. So that puts him at 245 with Iowa. And then if we gave him Pennsylvania, that'd be 255. Right? And then Georgia, right? I feel like Georgia.
Your math is. Oh, you haven't counted Georgia for them yet?
Oh,
no,
we
got that.
With Georgia, that puts him over 270.
Yeah, that you can stop there. Don't count anymore.
Oh wait, no. I already added Georgia in there. Sorry. So actually, that leaves him about 15 under away from 270. So he would have to get one of these up here. You would have to pull Nevada and probably Wisconsin.
Your math is scaring me.
Oh my!
If he didn't pull North Carolina,
I'm extremely concerned about your
math.
No,
my math is fine. It was me losing track which ones I've already added.
All right, so Joe Biden, right? Good old Joseph Biden right now, right? Joseph Homie Biden here has 227 votes. If we give him Minnesota, 237. If we give him Nebraska, even though we're calling it for Donald Trump, so actually we're not going to do that, right? We're going to give him, we'll use this map because it's cooler. We'll give him Maine, which is freaking 4 votes. So
they already gave him Maine.
No, this one. Yes, not on the count, right? So 237, 241. Even if he gets Nevada, that's still only 247. And Alaska 250. That's still less than the magic number by 20, which could be Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but then if he takes North Carolina,
that's still short by 5.
Yeah.
Trump train coming in.
But so Trump has to take Georgia, Minnesota, Montana, Iowa, and either North Carolina
or Pennsylvania. He has to. Yeah, he needs. Yeah, it's going to be between him taking either North Carolina or Pennsylvania.
But I feel like he's definitely going to take either one of those, right?
Yeah, he's going to get at least one.
He can't lose both. And honestly, my money honestly goes if it's between one or the other, it's going to be Pennsylvania over North Carolina.
Yeah.
Because purely just over the demographic. I mean, that's the Rust Belt, right?
It's the Amish, dude. They're coming in hot.
The Amish.
They're riding the Trump train too, but it's pulled by horses.
Yeah, they're riding the Trump buggy. The Trump buggy's coming in hot, baby.
He has great plans for Kansas.
For Kansas. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to take away your no electricity. I'm not going to give you electricity. You can stay in your barns. I'm not going to take your barns away. I love you guys. You're great. You churn great butter. The best butter.
Amazing butter.
It's America's
beautiful, beautiful ankles.
It's the only thing we can see.
Don't even get me started.
We start on the ankles. Let's do a quick glance over to CNN.
Ooh. Wow, look at those numbers, ladies and gentlemen.
Pennsylvania 56-42 with 51% of the vote in. He's over half a mil ahead.
Voted yet.
Has Scranton voted?
I think from now on we should start actually only using pictures of presidential candidates in swimsuits for their polling profile pictures.
Ooh.
You know what? Sadly, I think Biden might have the better body.
No, it's not about the better body, right? It's just they look so serious. Like they look like they're coming to like tell you something really bad has just happened, right? Like
not Biden. Biden looks like
your lead has been
ready
denied.
to come to tell you like something a little weird.
They look like the command photo board, and that's not what you want in a presidential race, all right?
Like these are actually better than the pictures I've seen in the past, right? Like Trump's photo looks like he's like he knows the secret in ping pong and he's gonna score. But then Biden looks like he has like a dirty joke that's also racially inappropriate that he's gonna tell you when no one else
I
is
don't
around.
doubt that. I definitely don't doubt that.
He's just gonna whisper it in your voice, touching your shoulder.
Sir.
The long, dramatic.
Bro, look at CNN, right? CNN's like, no, it's definitely too early to call Texas or Florida. We have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to call Texas or Florida until the Democrats dispute it because it's too early to call.
Meanwhile, don't make sure I have this up online. I do, okay.
If it was running blue hard, dude, they'd be like, hey, look, the Democrats killed it, ladies and gentlemen. We're done. We took Florida.
Here we go.
Texas. Oh, there we go. Wow.
I don't know what was the change from 2 feet ago.
Maybe it's two different boards because they can't make up their minds. So they're stealing their stuff from other people.
Scranton did go blue. Scranton went blue, ladies and gentlemen.
Erie went red. I told you the Amish coming in hot, dude. All right, listen. You're Pennsylvania and the Amish. Where's Lancaster County at? Reading over there. Okay, Reading's red too. That's good. I don't see Lancaster.
Just surrounded by buffalo, which is
Erie's in Lancaster County,
blue
right?
as shit. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look. You know what? We're going to look because I care about the Amish. In case I ever run for president, you can record this and pull this back up, okay? I care about the Amish. No new taxes.
Idaho. I don't give a shit about the Amish.
No. Well,
that's
you're
why
never
you'll
going to be
never
president.
win.
You'll never be president.
Everyone knows that the Amish are the secret Illuminatis of the country.
Yeah, they are.
The deep state, the deep Amish state.
Where's Lancaster County? I've been there. It's a great county.
Have you?
It's a great county. It's huge.
So they're counting. Oh, they're counting in the individual counties now.
Oh, all right. Lancaster County, 66% for Trump. I told you the Amish, dude.
What's the population of Amish in Lancaster County?
Well, there's 133,000 Trump votes, so I'd assume somewhere close to that number. And that's again coming from official source.
In official source.
Oh, this was 2016. That's not in 2020.
We have a highly official Amish representative. Now, everyone, to Jebediah, our Amish correspondent in Lancaster County.
How are you going to get to him?
We found it. 33,000.
Don't
33,000.
fucking ask questions, Andy.
33,000 Amish people.
It was
live
a
in Lancaster County.
hypothetical anecdote.
We gotta
I
wait
don't
for the
need your
Raven to
fucking
rise.
smart guy questions.
Bro, 3,000, 3%.
Yeah, I
of
went to
people
law
voted for it.
school. I think things through. Shut up.
No, just go. It's a string and a cup. String and a cup.
Yeah. Shut up.
All right, real talk. I do need to go to bed.
Why are you fighting
at least
Andy?
lay in bed.
Leave Andy alone.
At least I need to lay in bed while I watch the election results.
I've been
so-
yelling at Andy for like 15 years. It's fine.
It's true. Half of that was in Spanish.
Sí,
Correction. You are correct.
mitad fue en español.
Yeah, me and Andy learned Spanish together. What was your Spanish name? Do you remember?
No, because I wasn't in Benito's first class.
Oh.
I was in Erickson's, so I never got one.
My name was Adon.
Cultural appropriation. I need to stop right there.
It was given to me by a Spaniard.
It was bestowed upon me by someone from Barcelona.
I think my name was Pendejo.
They called me Maricone.
Marty Cone? What?
All right, I need
You don't
to.
seem to know my name.
No.
Thank you,
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
Philip,
I know, I'm sorry.
for being our
there
very
goes a
reliable
good
source.
chunk of our credibility.
Yep.
Service.
Goes all our
Ladies and
viewership.
gentlemen, we went from 0 to 0. We have really broken down our credibility chunk here. We're
Yeah, no one's gonna want to listen to us now. We honestly now no longer have any idea what we're talking
dividing or multiplying 0 by literally any number still gives us this much credibility. So there's your math lesson for the night too. We're killing it, guys. I'll watch you guys in bed. I'm just need to go lay down, or I'm not gonna ever go to sleep. So
Ooh, hey now.
Oh.
Yeah.
First time anyone's watched me in bed.
Have a good one.
see you guys. Have fun at your sauna.
I will.
Hey,
Which,
you
I'll
saw
be
that?
there. I'll be there for the next 24 hours shortly.
Did he do 24 hours sauna?
So,
It's
Rico,
gonna be
have
so
you left
steamy.
your resort yet, or
No, he stays at his resort.
No, this is one of those all-inclusive stay in your resort situations.
Yeah, no one really comes in, no one really goes out. So I'm just kind
All
of
right.
so Wisconsin,
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Oh, it's French. So yeah, I'm just
Give us the rundown.
fuck, man. I am just waiting for North Carolina. They are sitting at 94% for 5 fucking hours. They're driving me crazy. Old Beck, Fisher had a stroke. I don't know what's going on.
Holy Beak?
I don't know. Fisher had a stroke.
That'll happen.
It's happened.
Olé.
He's speaking
I have a
nonsense
cup-
words.
In the
Oh,
morning,
they-
have a
they
cup of
called
coffee,
Hawaii.
and a stroke. Yeah.
They called Hawaii. Have they called
So Hawaii
for-
always blue. That's not surprising.
No, Hawaii's always
Hawaii's
blue and
always-
Alaska's always red. What about
I'm
Texas?
not
Have we
seeing a
gotten
lot
to
of
good
gold
majority?
on this map.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of gold on this map.
Yeah, you're not gonna. So
That's
I was
sad.
looking at a map earlier that showed Joe Jorgensen. She is sitting at 1.1% of the votes.
Well, it's a valiant effort.
Yeah, I mean, what can you expect from literally only being supported by memes?
It was worth a try, you know.
Yeah, I mean, She wasn't included in any of the debates. They showed her on fucking. Oh, there's Beck.
Thanks you.
Yeah, Beck's in the chat. But they showed her on Fox Business for like 5 fucking seconds while they asked her about like one of her platforms and how to kick her out. And then she wasn't on any of the debates. So what do you fucking expect, really? I mean, it's saddening that this is what we come down
more
to
time
country,
than mainstream media did.
Huh? We did give her more time than mainstream.
We gave her more time than mainstream media did. That's crazy.
That's all she should need, right? Like that's one of the major podcasts in the U.S.
Well, yeah, it's like Joe Rogan and us. We're right. We ebb and flow every time the
Are we fighting
ratings
with Joe
come
Rogan
out.
again? I thought we called the truce to Joe Rogan last night.
Yeah, because now we're just fighting the West Point
Oh
military.
yeah, the West Point
podcast.
podcast. Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, now we're just purely fighting them. Which we should have mentioned this when Philip was on there, that we would have our officer endorsement. We're purely just going over after West Point cadets now. We've
That's fine. They're getting
quelled
kicked out of
our
graduation
Joe Rogan
anyway.
fight.
Joe, we're gonna need you to take a step back. Stop attacking us so we can attack West Point.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The constant slander from Joe Rogan. It's a lot.
He just feels threatened, you know, and that's sad.
You just can't perform the way that we do, and that's okay.
There's enough internet for all of us, Joe Rogan, but not for West Point.
Yeah, but in all reality, he's in the same state as me, so I love you, Joe Rogan.
Way to cave real quick.
There's a very good chance that this man could start training at my professor's jiu-jitsu gym, and I could potentially run into Joe Rogan at some point in time. I don't want to get my ass kicked on an open mat.
My professor's jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah, I don't want to get my ass kicked in an open roll.
I would fight you for the
Although,
honor of my
cool
podcast.
story if I'm like, hey, Joe Rogan choked me out for 6 minutes.
I've choked you out for 7. It's not that cool.
You fucking lied to me.
Fox just called Iowa.
Iowa. Did they go blue?
Oh yeah, no, 52-45
So it's the current count.
with 93. So they're calling that with 93% in, but fucking North Carolina over here. What's Idaho doing for funsies? 56-41. That's actually a greater margin than I anticipated. With 61% of the votes in, that's actually a much bigger margin than I anticipated. But you want to see something that's super sad?
I like sad
258,000 people in the state of Idaho had voted for President Donald Trump. 5 million people in the state of Texas have voted for President Donald Trump. Why do we even count these states?
What do they have? Like, what does Montana have?
Land.
Like resource-wise or people-wise?
Yeah, resource-wise, because they've got like 3 people.
Cattle
Wolves.
Okay.
They have wolves.
and oil. Cattle and oil.
Okay, that's what we need Montana for then. Bam.
Yeah.
You have me
Same
in
with
oil.
Wyoming.
Do they have eagles?
Yeah, but there's
The
there's not a
ball-listed
market
eagles.
on eagles, Ramball.
Actually, on the black market. I can get you. I know a guy. I can get you some eagle steaks.
Eagle wings.
Not gonna lie, that if anyone ever offered me in a hushed tone an eagle steak, I wouldn't turn it down. If a chef was like, "Sir, your fillet, your chicken fillet, by the way, this is eagle." Dope.
It's too big of a bird to call it a chicken breast. It's an eagle steak.
Have you seen fucking chickens nowadays?
They ain't got no
They're
ankles. They're broken.
They can't even move. They're too fat.
Wait, that's turkey.
By the way, that is actually a serious thing. A lot of chickens being farmed nowadays are too fat, and they snap their own spines. It's
They're
really
not
That's
bad.
why
They're just all muscle. They're too swole.
Yeah, they're too
What?
big.
Why do you know that?
The gentleman who created the Super Size Me documentary.
Oh God.
He did a second documentary
Kevin
where
James.
he developed his own chicken farm and chicken restaurant and super deep delved into it. And these chickens are so doped up on fucking steroids, they get too
Hell
big
yeah.
to move. And their hearts give out. So they just die.
It's more humane than just cutting off their head. Just heart attack.
Is it a severe heart attack?
They just I don't know if chickens sweat it out, but all of a sudden they're just there. Oh?
Well, I've seen how people throw chicken in the
My
old
left wing went numb. Is that normal?
grab the neck, like full on Taliban. Like that's how thin they just dangle upside down.
I have executed a chicken before.
Do they sweat?
fine.
That's what I want to know.
It's okay.
That's the hard
Do they
question.
sweat?
Now I need to know. I need to know if chickens sweat.
They only sweat if you stare them in the eyes when you do it,
It's actually a human thing only.
like
I don't think anything
beforehand.
else sweats.
Ah, like
It's like
I know
Is
dogs
it
sweating
a
is like
human thing that you sweat? No, all people sweat.
no humans. Like other species don't sweat. Only humans sweat. It's like our own evolutionary advantage.
Horses sweat.
No, they don't.
chickens cannot sweat
Yes,
according
they
to
do.
Google.
No, they don't, man.
If I get proven
Welcome
wrong by
to
this, I'm
the
just
no
very
longer.
upset. Yeah, the no longer political podcast.
We just want to know
We
if
have
things
8
sweat.
viewers and they've dipped. The sweat profusely.
First search on Google, huh?
I've ridden them most of my life. In fact, it was so scary
Horses
because
do
you almost
sweat.
made me doubt my entire life experience.
You
Yes.
made him sit there thinking like now he's sitting on a horse that's just wet for no reason.
I'm like,
Right
I've
after.
taken their saddle off and they're drenched in sweat. Where does that, what is that from me? Is my ass that wet? It's going through the saddle onto them.
Did you piss yourself?
Yeah,
while
I
you're
did, like-
riding it?
Did it rain? Like,
Horses
how did
sweat.
this horse get wet? Like, you
I
made
legit
me
did not
started
know that
doubting
horses
me.
sweat. That might have just changed. That might have just like blew my mind. That horses sweat.
That horses sweat?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta figure out how many animals sweat because I need to know.
I mean, platypi sweat milk. So,
Is
Gross.
that really sweat though, or is that just milk?
They're just lactating.
milk
Are
comes
they
out of
covered
where
in
sweat
nipples?
glands are.
So their sweat glands are nipples, is what you're saying.
No. They have actual nipples. No, actually, sorry. They don't have any nipples. That's how they milk.
See,
You want to not believe me? But just remember the animal that we're talking about. The platypus. I can literally tell you anything about them, and just on principle on what they are, you have to believe it because it's a fucking platypus.
And nothing about them makes sense.
No, it's a mammal that lays eggs, that has a duck bill, a beaver tail, and poison spurs behind their fucking elbows.
Hell yeah.
Don't have any
The
nipples
Wolverine of
and
animals.
sweat milk.
The Wolverine of Wolverine animals.
oh, pigs don't sweat though.
And they don't have teeth, so they swallow rocks to digest their food.
Hell yeah, that's metal. Oh, I'm a platypus.
Actually, you know what? Metal Platypus wouldn't be a bad band name.
That's it. I already trademarked it. Nope.
We're in the same band.
Hold on.
Are you Googling platypus nipples right now?
No, I'm
That's
still
gonna be
looking
great
for,
on your search
That's how you
history.
get put on the watch list.
I'm not trying to confuse my FBI agent today. I'm just trying to figure out if animals sweat.
If animals sweat.
Or what animals don't. What animals
I just
do.
want, as soon as you typed it in, Google was like, duh, you fucking tard.
No, a lot of them don't. Like the majority of them don't.
You are correct. The majority of them don't. Like dogs, they don't sweat.
I'm going to mute
That's why I was
myself for a
surprised-
second because I'm going to be listening to a death metal platypus song.
I like how he's disconnected to listen to death metal platypus music. All right, let's see what else we got. Won't be doing this for too much longer. It is getting late. I do have to wake up in like 4 hours. And we're coming to the point where the election, it's coming to a standstill, right? We're hitting the point where not much is going to start moving from here. Nevada finally. So wait, what? Okay,
Wait, what?
Hold on. What the fuck was that?
Did it blip? Did it go blip blip?
No, Nevada was like, hey, we're counting votes now, and then it went right back down to 0. Or did I just do this? Is that what happened?
you
Like I
probably
went
just
from
hovered.
Utah to Nevada and moved my arm?
Yeah, you just
I'm
crossed
a
borders.
fucking idiot. Never mind. Nevada still hasn't voted.
Nevada's not voting. They're
Montana-
abstaining this year.
CNN is showing that they have some votes, but
For Nevada? What's
yeah,
the
it's only
percentage?
like 4. It's only 4,000 counted so far. Trump's ahead 78 to 18.
You can't go anywhere off of 4,000 votes.
No, no.
That's not even a
That's how I live my
percentage
life.
of the absentee ballots. Nebraska.
Why is Nebraska like that? Striped. I've been wondering.
So
about that.
because they're only at 75% of it, and it's 42 to 55, so it could still flip with that.
Yeah,
So-
them and Maine have like weird congressional districts that can
Yeah, so like up here.
electoral votes differently than the
Yeah,
rest of the state.
So can you explain that? Because you just seem to understand it a little bit better than me. Because Maine has District 1 and another one, and then Nebraska has 3 different districts that are counted as like 3 separate voting entities.
Right. So
Because they have
that's cool.
split vote. That's why.
yeah, so the way I understand it is so the 2 is like overall how the state comes out, and then it's like split into the different districts. And depending on how those districts come out, those singular votes can go differently than the entire state vote.
Yeah, so we looked this up the other day. Maine and Nebraska are the only states that can split their electoral college votes. So that's why they have the
Interesting.
different congressional areas, like you were saying. So if this one's blue and this one goes red, then it'll be 1 for 1. And then here it'll be 1 for 1 or all 2 or whatever the fuck.
All for one and one for all?
Yeah. Nebraska only has 2. I would have
And
thought they
I
would have a
swear-
higher population than
No.
us.
So Nebraska has 5.
Oh, 5.
Yeah, so the two in the big block up at the top is, from my understanding, that's just how the entire state goes, not the districts.
Okay, and these are the districts.
Yes,
So that's the whole trend of the state
correct.
due to these, and then this one's still a toss-up.
Yeah, so like the state looks red, but that middle district could still go blue.
And like here, you could have a higher population in this, which is leaning towards this, but then this one could still go red.
That's how I understand it. Yes.
That makes sense. Even if you're wrong, made sense.
See, if you
Even if
say
you're wrong,
those
you're right.
things confidently, it goes well for you.
You are a great lawyer.
He
You
approaches
must
cases
be
like we
great
approach
at
the
your
board.
job.
I don't lose a lot, so there's that.
When the podcast gets sued, eventually, we're gonna
gonna
need
happen.
representation,
Only if it's in Idaho.
and we're just gonna have a small town chicken lawyer from Idaho.
So what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need some suspenders so I can roll in to wherever it is, and I can snap them.
Just under your thumb, just hearsay.
I hail from Kuna, Idaho. I ain't no big city lawyer.
I'm just a small town chicken lawyer.
Oh, Fox just went with Minnesota.
They did.
Probably the last one we're gonna see tonight. Well, I guess
The
Montana.
last switch. They're 74%. Yeah, probably. Like I'm still.
What did Minnesota go last year or last election?
Blue.
Blue
Yeah.
also?
They
Okay,
were
so
like
that's
the
not a
only
change.
Midwestern state to go blue.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they were the. Oof.
Maybe Illinois
Because
should switch it up. Illinois is kind of a
this
shitty
blue
state.
curtain right
Stop being
here.
blue.
Yeah, this general blue curtain that they talk about right here, got torn up last election by Donald Trump,
And looks to be again.
and it looks like it's about to happen again.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to the mail-in ballots in Philadelphia. If they still have like 300,000 of those.
Well, yeah, that could sway it. I mean, the big ones are called for. California, Texas, Florida, New York. Really, the only other big ones we got are these 4 right here. And Pennsylvania is looking like it's Trump, honestly. 64% in, 56 and 41. If we look at the counties, right, here's Pennsylvania. Honestly, it's not looking like there's a whole lot, which could just be Fox News's page, of course. But when I'm looking, it's not showing any blue in Pennsylvania.
All right, gentlemen, I've got to go because I've got a 24-hour booze cruise coming up that I got to get ready for.
I'm loving the names you're coming up with every new time. It just makes it better.
So you guys have fun.
I have a 24-hour meditation seminar.
See you later, guys.
I think we
enjoy a couple hot rocks for me.
We can take that for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining in with us. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your guys' support. All of my friends who jumped on, fantastic. All of the people who've jumped on and talked to us. Carl, you're the real MVP. If I know you from somewhere, I apologize for not remembering. If I've never met you before, you're a dope dude, Carl. Thank you for keeping me entertained for the 30 minutes of lonesome until someone joined me. Otherwise, thank you to my friends. Thank you, Ramball. Thank you, Andy. And as always, the big, brown, and beautiful man himself, Rico.
Extra brown right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the next week. It will be interesting. I don't know if they're going to be able to declare a winner by the end of tomorrow, but we'll see. And it's if you live anywhere that there may be riots,
still
fucking move.
I'm ready.
Do you have a sword?
I'm ready.
fucking move. In the year of 2020, there's been 80 million gun sales this year.
Hell yeah.
So people ain't fucking around anymore. So if your idea is to go loot somewhere, just be aware that a whole bunch of liberals bought guns this year.
Yep.
Everyone bought guns this year. But they bought them.
But they've got so many chances.
Yeah, they have them, right? But
right,
no matter who you voted for, thank you for voting. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. We will be back with you guys next week on the Underqualified and Overcompensated. Peace.
See ya. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Boop.